My name is Christy Boyd and I am a facilitator for women and children's interests in Africa. For my report to the Sudan-South Sudan Mission Network, I would like to share about my visit to the rural community of Pochalla in Boma State. Pochalla County used to be South Sudan's food basket thanks to fertile grounds nourished by an extensive river system. But 2 decades of civil war have destroyed the socio-economic fabric of the Anuak community there. It not only disrupted agricultural production, but also stalled the intergenerational transfer of traditional farming and fishing skills. To reverse this precarious situation, the women of the Presbyterian Church of South Sudan in Pochalla dared to dream up an ambitious agricultural project they called Women Feeding the Nation. They secured a 1,235-acre swath of land from the local traditional ruler and were awarded a thank-offering grant from Presbyterian women in the PCOSS. Advising them in this endeavor is Otto Warakoti, a PCOSS community worker and peacemaker and a champion of women empowerment. My visit to Pochalla came soon after the project's first planting season. Accompanying me on the trip from Juba to Pochalla were Reverend Pasca Asia Nimiriano, who now heads the PCOSS Women's Desk, and my colleague Lisa Wagstaff as the church's educational consultant. As it was still the rainy season, traveling to the farm proved a challenging undertaking. After the umpteenth time of getting stuck in the mud, and thanks to persistent efforts by Otto, the driver and the security guard, we arrived 4.5 hours later in Otalo, the farm's host community. Then walked over to the farm where the women shared about their dream.
Actually, when we thought about this one, first of all, we were thinking about the conference. We do have some conference, but we, the women, we find that if we have a farm, we can be able to organize a good conference every year so that to evangelize the community, because always there is a challenges of food. Also, if there is a hunger in a community and the church have the farm, it can be able to assist some poor women who are around also with that purpose. Vision actually, it took years to complete it. The first step, we were thinking that we said, so when we thought about the farm, we said, okay, if it is that one, we can bring some women from the other places so that we can make a farm with our own local material. But that one we failed. We did not manage. And then we thank God that you have accepted our proposal, and then you decide to give some money, especially the Presbyterian women who sponsor this project. That is really, it makes us a good encouragement. And like now, people can look at, when they look at the farm, they feel that this farm will not germinate it well, or they have some challenges. But we have that belief that God will bless this land, and then also we will harvest a good food from here, this farm. The communities, they are really very happy when we call them for the clearing. They come, the king, the acting king was here, and the king also, the authority, they were the one who give the land to us here so that we can use this land. Like currently, people are getting food from Ethiopia. So that one will stop. People will not go to Ethiopia and get food. So people will just get food from the farm here.
By establishing a large farm, they want to fight off hunger and malnutrition and help Pochalla County become self-reliant rather than remain dependent on the infrequent and insufficient food distributions held by international aid organizations. While the farm work provides an income for women and youth, a demonstration farm helps youngsters appreciate the vital importance of agriculture and learn traditional farming techniques.
The payment and everything, this is the contract for her. Yeah.
I'm very happy to be in this farm, the farm of the woman. Woman has a hope, even if they are suffer, but still they have a hope. They can reduce their trauma when they are weeding the garden. When they come together and do the activities together, it gives them really hope and peace and unity. Especially this is where to uniting all the different groups from different congregations so that they choose to have one farm. The way that you're helping your children, it is through the farm, because you eat from it and then you sell the part of it, even you can pay for the school fees for your children. CWF women, they will think, now we plant a maize, next year we will do a different kind of the seed. So it's a challenge also. Finding the seed is very difficult. Maybe they will plant earlier to collect the things that they can plant for this garden.
The women had already cleared and planted just a few acres of land with the plan to gradually expand cultivation during successive farming cycles. The main crop they grow is corn of different varieties, from reddish yellow Otuela in Anuak and the deep red Iwelu to white corn or Agala and still other varieties. From the beginning, however, the land has had drainage issues, particularly during the rainy season, and Otto has been working with a specialist to analyze and address the problem. After a first small harvest of 10 bags of corn in 2018, the farm produced 150 bags in August last year. 75 of those were sold to members, 20 bags were given to members on loan, and 55 offered in exchange for labor. The women are now discerning how to use the $7,600 they earned on the sale of the crops. Back in Pochalla town, I joined Lisa in her visit to the PCOSS Presbyterian Education Complex. With 426 students and 18 teachers at the time of our visit, this educational ministry was started in 2014 as part of the South Sudan Education and Peace Partnership Project between PCOSS and PCUSA, and is of great importance and value to the Pochalla community. Made from local materials, the classrooms don't offer a great protection against the rain and aren't durable, but permanent structures were already being built through the SSEPP project. While there, Lisa spent time with the headmaster to appreciate the work done and to look forward with him to the work ahead.
In 2014-2015, I worked with Otto on a student handbook as well as parent council. So we need to get feedback from that because we were only imagining some of the issues, some of the problems. So if you are using those materials, it would be nice to get some feedback so that we can readjust and see what's feasible, what's not, what issues are there that we didn't cover, what things are there that are not important, if the language is too high or so forth.
Our visit was also a time of great anticipation, as Lisa carried with her from the Ministry of Education in Juba the results from the very first exams administered at the Pochalla school.
And I had to chase from Minister of Education to Boma State, what. So, according to this, 100% pass rate, 100%. Everybody who sat passed the exam, huh? Should be jumping. This is the first. Isn't this the first class to write that exam? Yes. Yes. So it's
Surprise, huh?
Yes. For those that wrote, it was 100%. Yeah.
Really, they all passed. How many of them?
There were, I think 13 that actually sat, or was 15?
Okay, 3 was absent, but the whole of them actually 100%.
Yeah.
Really, they passed.
Yes. And a couple of that have really, really good marks.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm interested to know how you measured in terms of this whole state. Yes.
So Lisa, you did very good thing, huh? Very great, huh?
Well, you know how they write.
This is the school, the only school who said for that exam.
Really?
Yes. In the whole Pochalla, he's the only this school.
As we took a stroll to the town center, we happened to meet 2 of the graduates from the Pochalla school.
Okay, Uncle, you first the exam.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
This one I was
Yes.
too hard again.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Oh,
Two
good,
middle-aged
good,
men
good.
who had
Okay.
never enjoyed or finished elementary school in childhood. When we sat down with them to talk a little more, they expressed their desire for the PCOSS to start a secondary school in
What's
Pochalla.
next for you? After this, what are you going to do?
Let us continue with school.
Oh, you're continuing for school. You're going to do secondary school. Okay. So you could be our first class of students here at this school, because I don't think there's another secondary school. Is there?
Where?
In Pochalla. So that means you have to encourage the school administration to take you in as the first class of the secondary school. And you will be like pioneers, like the first people. And you will set the example for the others to follow. Yes.
While we took a tour of the school grounds, the headmaster brought up an unexpected challenge the school community faces. That of truancy, as students are lured by the instant gratification of quick earnings by digging gold.
We have registered 426 students, but right now we are still waiting for them because they have gone to look for good food, clothes, and other things in mining place. Yeah.
The Dima gold mine is located nearby the Akobo refugee camp in Ethiopia, across the river Akobo. Many families from Pochalla had fled there during times of violence a couple of years earlier. The school is even having difficulty keeping its teachers in the classrooms, as some of them seek to supplement their meager income also by digging gold.
It's not in this year, it's happening massively because there's no teachers. Because this money that we are using, we pay teachers, it's not eligible to the teachers. So they have decided to go to the mine for the gold, so to get money to buy clothes and food.
One of the PCOSS women leaders told me she had returned just the day before to bring back her now 14-year-old son against his will. During the 2 years that they had lived in the camp, her son had refused to go to school and started working in the mine instead. The mother said she is convinced that his future is better guaranteed by education than by mining, and made him come back with her to Pochalla to start attending the PCOSS school in Pochalla. The PCOSS parish pastor, Reverend Ojulo, who is also a senior inspector at the Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare for Boma State, shared his concern about the child miner's health.
In my visit to Ethiopia refugee camp, which is Dima, I found a lot of children, those who went to the refugee camp with their parents during the crisis of Pochalla. And when they reached there, I think most of the children, I found them, they are enjoying the activities of the mining. The children who are now doing that activities, they are very small children. They are underage. Even 7 years to 10 years, they do mining so that they can help themselves together with their parents. Maybe you cannot find a gold here in this area, then you can still digging down. Sometime the mud will fall on you. You can lose your life even.
The mining actually is affecting the whole Anua communities. And it's going to almost 50 years to actually around 30 years now. The bad thing now, the China also, some companies with a big machine, they are there. And those machines, they were put it in the rivers. So at the same time also, the children are bathing in the river. At the same time also, they are drinking that river because that place there is no water. There is no borehole. They are taking the same water where the machine is there, and then some of the engine oil and all those things are in that water, and then it's really affecting the life of the community. Not that part only, but those who are in this site. I remember one of the county commissioner come to me. They were asking, and then he raised this concern to me actually. And so that community actually is affected by that China machine for gold mining. This is the the demonstration farm for the school to teach our children, and also the teachers at the same time also participate in this. So we have a part of the teachers where the teachers come and do some clearing so that the students just watch and see them. They encourage them so that they will know that it is a part of education also. It's not for those who are not well educated and those who are in the village. Seeing the war, the Nyanya One, and then also the SPLM war, and then the peace war, the young people actually who has been displaced, especially the youth now who are the head of the families. But since they are living in a refugee camp where there is people are waiting, only spending on their ration card, that culture of cultivation was lost. And they don't know how to cultivate for themselves or their families. They are only depending on the relief, food, item, and all those things. As a Presbyterian Church, we find that there is a gap, which is we need really to fill it in the community. Because if the community are not feeding themselves, it means that there is no future. So always we will be depending on emergency food.
Most of them, they don't know how to farm because during those days, the time they have grown up, people were in the wars and they could not be able to farm. People are running up and down. They were not even being trained at that movement. Then the only solution for them to go to run to the other country for in a refugees or to go and mine like in the other area. In our area, they go for mining. In other country like Ethiopia, then they go for mining there. Then they only know how to do mining activity, but they don't know farming. That is what make those young youth not be able to farm nowadays.
Here actually are not one tribe who are learning in this school. We have some Denka, we have Jie who are also learning from this school. So when we bring people from Murle, we bring people from Jie, we bring people from Kashipo and be integrated in this school. People, they will learn peace, how people live together. People also will depend on cultivation, not on cattle only. And also people will be able to live harmony together and live in town. So this actually in the future will be one of the centers that can bring all those communities in one place. That is the hope, that idea of South Sudan Peace Education Program. That really is something that brings people together.
The demonstration farm borders an offshoot of the Akobo River, and while Otto pointed to the ample opportunity for irrigation of the field, I was reminded of the environmental concerns expressed in our earlier conversations and wondered whether any polluting chemicals from the mining activities would be absorbed by the crops. From our walk in town, I had vivid images of children playfully taking a bath in the river and youth casting their fishing line to catch fish for their family's Sunday meal. I couldn't help but become concerned not only about the children's foregone educational opportunities, but also the health and food security of Pochalla's future generations due to the mining. Pochalla is a microcosm of the complexities the Church is facing in the global South. Our experiences remind us of the need for the Church to be present in a holistic way to meet the needs of the overlooked and ignored who, as Christ reminds us in Matthew 25, are members of His family.